Thank you for being here today. I am MD Arif Khan and I am from Department of Management, Dr. MC Saxena Group of College, and I am here to talk about my presentation. My presentation is divided by 5 main sections. First is consumer behavior, second is consumer decision making, and third is service design, fourth is project management, and last project cycle and project process. And now I will focus on consumer behavior. The buying behavior of final consumers, individuals, and households users who buys goods and services for a personal consumption is called consumer behavior. The way they behave while purchasing goods and services, overall expression, overall behavior is called consumer behavior. Now, I will focus on customer versus consumer. Let's see the difference between customer or consumer. Most of us thinks both are the same, but no, these are big difference between customer and consumer. Who are customer? Customer are those who is purchase the product from the marketer or from the retailer or from the wholesaler. Here is not to one who's going to use product. And now I will focus on consumer. But the person who is buying the product for the own consumption, for the own use, or the one who is going to use that product is called consumer. So here we can say the one who is buying the product not for the use, but they are buying is called customer. The one who is use that product is called consumer. Now I will focus on importance of consumer behavior. The importance of consumer behavior is marketing management. It is also known as the significance of consumer behavior. It includes various points such as to design production policies, now the effect of price on buying, exploit the marketing opportunities, design marketing mix, implement STP strategy. STP means segmentation, targeting, positioning, and helps in understanding diversified preference, understanding of various roles played by consumers, results in consumer satisfaction. Now I will focus on consumer decision making. Consumer decision making is the process by which consumers identify their needs, collect information, evaluate, choice, and finally make a purchase decision. These actions are determined by psychological and economic factors and can be influenced by environmental factors such as cultural, group, and social values. Now I will focus on roles of consumers. Basically, we know 5 roles played by a buyer while making a buying decision. First, initiator, a person who first suggests the idea of buying the particular product or services, that is called initiator. Second one is the influencer, a person who view or advise influence the decision, that is called influence. Third one is the decider, a person who decides on any components of a buying decision, whether to buy, what to buy, how to buy, or where to buy. This is most important. And next one is the buyer, the person who makes the actual purchase, that is called buyer. Last one is the user, a person who consumes or uses the product or services, that is called user. Now I will focus on consumer decision making process. The consumer decision making process can seem mysterious, but all consumers go through basic steps when making a purchase to determine what what products or services will best fit their needs. Think about your own thought process when buying something, especially when it's something big like a car. You consider what you need, research and compare your options before taking the plunge. Afterwards, you often wonder if you made the right call. If you work in sales or marketing, make more of an impact by putting yourself in the customer shoes and review the step in the consumer decision making process. First one is the need recognition. The first step of the consumer decision making process is recognizing the needs for a service or product. Need recognition, whether prompt internally or externally, result in the same response. But how can you influence consumer at this stage, since internal stimulus comes from within and includes basic impulses like hunger or a change in lifestyles? Focus your sales and marketing efforts on external stimulus. Let's take an example to understand need of recognition. Winter is coming. The particular customer has several light jackets, but she will need a heavy duty winter coat if she is going to survive the snow and lower temperature. And second one is the information search. When researching their option, consumers again rely on internal and external factors as well as past interaction with a product or brand, both positive and negative. In the information stage, they may browse through options at a physical location or consult online resources such as Google or consumer reviews. Your job as a brand is to give the potential customer access to the information they want with the hope that they decide to purchase your product or service. Let's take an example to understand information search. The customer searches women winter coats on Google to see what options are out there. When she sees someone with a cute coat, she asks them where they bought it and what they think of that brand. Now, third one, alternative evaluation. At this point in the consumer decision making process, prospective buyers have developed criteria for what they want in a product. Now there is prospective choices against comparable alternatives. Alternatives may present themselves in the form of lower prices, additional products benefits, product availability, or something as personal as color, styles, option. Your marketing materials should be geared towards convincing consumers that your product is superior to other alternatives. Let's take an example to understand alternative evaluation. The customer compares a few brands that she wants a brightly colored coat that will complement the rest of her and though she would rather spend less money, she also wants to find a coat made from sustainable materials. And the fourth one is the purchase. This is the moment the consumer has been waiting for, the actual purchase. Once they have gathered all the facts including feedback from previous customers, consumers should arrive at a logical conclusion on the product or service to purchase. If you have done your job correctly, the consumer will recognize that your product is the best option and decide to purchase. Let's take an example to understand purchase. The customer finds a pink winter coat that's on sale for 20% off. After confirming that the brand uses sustainable material and asking friends for their feedback. She orders the coat online. And now, fifth one is the post-purchase evaluation. And last, the part of the consumer decision-making process involves reflection from both the consumer and the seller. As a seller, you should try to ensure your customer continues to have a positive experience with your products. Post-purchase engagement could include follow-up emails, discounts, coupons, and newsletters to entice the customer to make an additional purchase. You want to gain lifelong customers, and in an age where anyone can leave an online reviews, it's more important than ever to keep customers happy. Now I will focus on service design. Service design is the activity of planning and organizing people, infrastructure, communication, and materials components of a service in order to improve its quality and the interaction between service provider and customers. The purpose of service design methodologies is to design according to the needs of customers or participants so that the service is user-friendly, competitive, and relevant to the customers. The backbone of this process is to understand the behavior of the customers, their needs and motivation. Service designers draw on the methodologies of field such as ethnography and journalism to gather customer insight through interviews and by shadowing service users. Now I will focus on service design definition. First one is the service. A service is an action that a person does for someone else. For examples, goods are items you buy such as foods, clothing, toys, furniture, and toothpaste. Services are actions such as haircuts, medical checkups, mail delivery, car repair, and teaching. Goods are tangible objects that satisfy people wants. And second one is the service delivery system. Service system are organizing, designed to deliver services that satisfy the needs and wants of the organization customers. Marketing, operation, and global environment consideration have significant implications for the design of delivery system. And third one is the product bundle. Product bundles are generally made up of complementary items or less frequently similar items. When retailers offer multiples of the exact same item, this is generally referred to as a multiple, not a product bundle. For example, product bundles would be a fixed price meal at a restaurant or a beer kit that includes sunscreen, sand toys, flip-flops, and towel as one saleable item. That's it. Now I will focus on planning and creating service. Service product compromises all elements of services performance, both tangible and intangible, that create value for customers. The service concept is represented by a core product accompanied by supplementary service. In mature industries, core products often become commodities. Now I will focus on elements of service design. Service design combines by key elements from user experience design, interaction design, and quality management to create long-term values. First, structure. Facility location, selection site. Strategy is to maximize revenue by competitive clustering. Saturation marketing, use of market intermediaries. It is structural elements. And second one is the managerial elements. Informational, what technology to use and role of internet, service quality, management quality of services prescribed, services did not meet or exceed expected service, quality of products, design and conformance quality, service encounter. Now I will focus on project management. Project management is the practices of initiating, planning, executing, controlling, and closing the works of a team to achieve specific goals and meet specific success criteria at the specified time. The primary challenge of project management is to achieve all of the project's goals within the given construction. The information is usually described in project documentation created at the beginning of the development process. Project management is the different to management of business as usual activity with its ongoing process as it involves creating new work packages to achieve agreed aims or goals. Now I will focus on importance of project management. Without the concept of project management, a project development would be chaotic. The discipline's main goal is to ensure that everyone involved in a project knows exactly what needs to be done, how much time they have to complete an activity, what resources are available, and whom they should talk to in case they encounter a problem. Its main goal is to ensure the final success of a project. A project is successful once all objectives have been followed on time and on budget, and the client is pleased with the quality of the project. Now I will focus on points to successful project management in an organization. There is no single way to ensure project management success, but there are few tips which, when included in a management style, can produce remarkable results. Now the project inside out. Identify the project requirements. Get a qualified project manager. Define critical milestones. Communication is the key. Tap into team members' strength and weakness. Use a project management tool. Manage potential risk. Test deliverables. Evaluation of project. That's it. Now I will focus on project cycle management. Project cycle management is the process of planning, organizing, coordinating, and controlling of a project effectively and efficiently throughout its phases from planning through execution, then completion and review to achieve predefined objectives or satisfying the project stakeholder by producing the right deliverable at the right time, right cost, and right quality. The term project cycle management is used in European terminology to describe decision-making procedures used during the life cycle of a project, including key tasks, roles, and responsibilities, key documents, and decision options. Now I will focus on life phases. A standard project typically was the following major phases is with its own agenda of tasks and issues, initiation, planning, implementation, and closure. Taken together, these phases represent the path a project takes from the beginning to its end and generally referred to as the project. The project manager and project team have one shared goal to carry out the work of the project. Now I will focus on project process management. Project process management is the management of systematic series of activities different towards causing an ends result, such as that one or more inputs will be acted upon to create one or more outputs. Process management offers project organization a means of applying the same quality improvement and defect reduction techniques used in business and manufacturing process by taking a process view of project's activity, modeling discrete activity and high level process. That's it. Now I will focus on project process. The components of the project process are project start, project preparation, project planning, project implementation, and project completion. The project process means a process as a unique action and represent the whole project implementation and the internal process in the project. Real life project process. Examples are comprised of various sequential steps like initiation, planning, implementation, monitoring, and closure. Keep in mind that any project is finite in nature, which means it has specific initiation and finishing deadlines. That brings us to the end of the presentation. Thank you.